All right, welcome back to the channel. Wow. Teofimo Lopez loses to George Kambosos in the upset of the year easily in what I think was a one-sided fight. Well, not one-sided fight, but man, it was brutal. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So, man, George Kambosos was not lying. He beat Teofimo Lopez, and he beat Teofimo Lopez absolutely, positively, soundly in a fight that if it was not for, maybe I think I might have given Teofimo Lopez 2 rounds in the fight plus the round that he got where he knocked down George Kambosos. But man, dude, George Kambosos exposed Teofimo Lopez. I'm not going to say that I think George Kambosos is the greatest fighter in the world or that he's going to beat a guy like Devin Haney or going to beat somebody like Gervonta Davis. It just so happens that he exposed Teofimo Lopez in the biggest upset of the year. The fight starts out, I think it was in the very first round that Teofimo Lopez comes out going out like a wild man, like he said, like he did not have a game plan for George Kambosos. He didn't respect George Kambosos. He's talking about how it was going to be a 1-round knockout. He ran out there running around, chasing around George Kambosos as if it was going to be a one-round knockout. Sorry about that. My dog started acting up. Man, so Teofimo Lopez goes out there and just runs around and chases George Kambosos for the first round, missing wildly. George Kambosos, slipping punches. Finally, and I believe in the first round, George Kambosos hits him with this big overhand right straight to the eye. Boom, knocks down Teofimo Lopez in the first round, and the fight is on. After that, I'm telling you, Teofimo Lopez just got completely outclassed by George Kambosos. George Kambosos had a great game plan for him. He was in great physical conditioning. The one thing that I had seen, because I had not watched too much of George Kambosos, I just looked at him in the fight with Lee Selby, and I watched him a little bit in the fight with Mickey Bay. And I was like, man, this guy's going to should be a sucker for an overhand, for a straight right hand by Teofimo Lopez. But Teofimo Lopez, timing was off the entire fight. Just did not have a game plan, swinging for the fences pretty much the entire time. Had absolutely no concerns whatsoever about just simply putting rounds in the bank against George Kambosos. Looked like he just tried to knock him out the entire time, and George Kambosos was having nothing of it. By the time it got maybe to the 4th or 5th round, George Kambosos was hitting him with overhand rights. He was hitting him with lead uppercuts. He was hitting him with left jab. Man, he would jab to a hook on the left jab and then a hook, and just started piecing him up, started swelling. And then maybe around the 6th round, I started noticing the Teofimo Lopez eyes were swelling up, like his left eye started swelling up. Then a little bit longer in the fight, his right eye started swelling up. And then then he winds up, looked like he was going to get a reprieve, hurts George Kambosos, knocks George Kambosos down in the 10th round. But when the 11th round came around, he was too tired to do anything about it. And George Kambosos recovered and was back piecing up Teofimo Lopez. And now you got George Kambosos with 3 of the major belts, and Devin Haney, most definitely the only WBC champion that there is. So Devin Haney wins his championship, George Kambosos wins his championship, and Teofimo Lopez, I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a hard road for that dude, man. It was very, very obvious, man, that he was not prepared for that fight. Was not properly prepared for that fight. His mind wasn't in that fight. He didn't have a strategy to go after this guy, George Kambosos. And, at least that's what I hope it is. I hope that was the problem with Teofimo Lopez, and it wasn't that Teofimo Lopez really just is not that good a fighter. Because in the last fight with Vasily Lomachenko, and I'm telling you, this right here shows why they didn't want that rematch with Vasily Lomachenko. Because that fighter if he had fought Vasily Lomachenko like he fought George Kambosos, man, he would have done the same. Vasily Lomachenko would have done the exact same thing to him. But he was a lot more cautious, a lot more wary with Lomachenko. But Lomachenko pressed the gas on him from like maybe 6 to around 11. And then Teofimo Lopez came back a little bit in the 12th round. But that's obviously why that man does not want to get that rematch of Vasily Lomachenko. Devin Haney, the fight with Devin Haney most certainly is now off. Man, it's just amazing, man. Because like I said, dude, in a video maybe a couple days ago, I was like, look, man, it just doesn't sit right with me the way that Teofimo Lopez is behaving. He's talking about doing all the extra things that champions need to do, and he's talking about how he's got his Under Armour contract. No, not his Under Armour contract. What is his Beats contract? How he's got a deal with Bud Light. He's got I think he had another deal with a clothing line, and that's what he thought you really needed to do to then go to the next level or whatever. But then to come out and lose against a guy like this, man, if that ain't humbling, I don't know what humbling is. So what humble is. What's the next steps for Teofimo Lopez? I'm not sure, because this is a mandatory fight for the WBO. He doesn't have a rematch clause, and he can't ask for a rematch. I mean, honestly, ethically speaking, he can't even ask for a rematch because he wouldn't give Vasily Lomachenko a rematch. So George Kambosos ain't got to get back in there and do anything with him, man. So, man, I'm just taken back, man. Pop goes the weasel. That also means, hey, man, Devin Haney better be on top of his P's and Q's for this guy, Jojo Diaz, because, man, Jojo Diaz is supposed to be easy work for Devin Haney. I certainly hope Devin Haney ain't thinking this is just easy money. There ain't nothing this kid can do to get with him, because, man, Teofimo Lopez definitely acted like that with George Kambosos. Man, it was killing me, though, listening to how one-sided the fight was. Even the Zone, which was looking for ways to give Teofimo Lopez credit and give Teofimo Lopez rounds, could not find a way to do it, man. It could not find a way to give him that fight. Because after that 11th round happened, boom, boom, man. That 11th, after the 10th round happened, where George Kambosos knocked him down, 11 and 12 were definitely George Kambosos. And I think in the 11th round, he opened up Teofimo Lopez's eyes. So, man, the dude's face, he was not just beaten, man. He was bloodied and beaten, which is just, honestly, man, I don't think anything that too many people expected. But at the same time, man, this has all the ringings of all of the signs of Andy Ruiz, right? Where Andy Ruiz won a belt, got all happy, celebrating, talking, thinking he's the king of the world, man, and then loses his belt in the very next fight his belt in the very next fight to Anthony Joshua. Teofimo Lopez did all of that talking and did not defend his title not one time. Beats Vasily Lomachenko, gets beat the very next fight. Man, I just don't even know what to say, man. I'm absolutely amazed. But great fight. Congratulations to George Kambosos. I know Devin Haney is looking. I know he's licking his chops trying to get at George Kambosos. But we'll see if George Kambosos fights him or what happens after that. It does not look, quite honestly, man, it does not look like Teofimo Lopez can make 135 pounds anymore. And I just wonder, though, if now that he has to make it, if he's going to get a rematch with George Kambosos, if he's going to be able to really bear down and do that or not. I hope he can, man, because, he's a very, very interesting character. But, man, Pop went the weasel on that one. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace. Wow. Peace.